We're still going to use right triangle trig, okay? We're still going to come back to sine, cosine, and tangent. We'll forget the other ones we learned yesterday for just a little bit. We'll come back to those as well. We're going to start with our unit circle, okay? Unit is a key thing here. It means 1, a radius of 1, because a circle, it has a radius, right? It's like halfway along the circle, and it's going to be 1. Our radius is 1 because we're talking about the unit circle. Anyway, so we'll just draw for now. We're getting to the unit circle. We'll just draw our x and y axis. And you always start along your x-axis, and we're going to go counterclockwise to draw our angles. We're just going to kind of draw angles today. Okay, so let me zoom in a little bit. This picture, if you were wanting a picture, this is showing what all of this is. It's kind of a lot of information. So your initial side, you always start here, and then you'll draw your angles depending on what the degree they tell you your angle is. A circle goes from 0 to 360. But we're going to learn we can go past 360 and we can keep doing circles, or we can even go backwards and go opposite way.
Makes no sense.
It does. It makes sense. This all has to do with sine and cosine functions. I'll show you a video one day of this. So your terminal side is, they call it this other ray. It's where the angle stops, right? This is my angle. That red line is showing my angle. Does everybody see that this angle is somewhere between 90 and 180? Do we see that? Yeah? We're going to learn where that is in a little bit. But this is called your terminal side, your initial side. That means it's where you start. And then that's just your vertex. So what they have drawn here is they have the y-axis is at 90 degrees. Wouldn't you understand that if you start here and you go straight up from there, it's 90 degrees? And then if you keep going and make a straight line, that's 180 degrees. And then add 90 again, and you get to 270, and add 90 again, and what are you at? 360. You've made a full circle. Those are the easy angles to remember. That's part of our unit circle. 90, 180, 270, 360.
Is the terminal side the blue line?
This is the angle, like this right here, this is showing, okay, this is an angle of whatever degree. And this is showing it starts here and it goes to here. This is just saying, this is the side you start at, the terminal side, that's the ray where your angle goes to. And I'm going to show you problems. It'll be easier when you know what in the world am I going to ask for on this. This is just a picture for now. Okay?
Can I write that down?
Yes.
So we don't need to know those definitions?
No, not really. No, I just, the picture is what, yeah. Because you just kind of need to know, where do you start from, where do you draw the second ray? Because I'm going to give you numbers. I'm going to say, draw me an angle that's 185 degrees. Where are you going to draw that angle at? That's what you have to figure out, okay? And this is kind of what you need to know. Or I might tell you to draw me an angle of negative 50 degrees. So I'm about to show you these problems. But anyway.
Okay.
I think I still have a couple more.
So you draw drawing under the initial side, right?
So yeah, you would go, if it's negative, you're going to go backwards.
Right.
Kind of like a number line. Right, if you're going positive, you go to the right. But if you're going negative, you go the other way.
So like the 270 would be your 90.
Yes, that's right. Okay, so then, look, you don't have to write this part down. This is just what we were saying. So, 225 degrees, what you kind of need to know is, all right, I know this is 270. I know this is 180. So, a positive 225 is about right here.
So it doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but let me tell you what you do know. You do know halfway in between all these are 45-degree angles. Okay, if you do that, this is 45, 90. What's 90 plus 45? 135? Yeah. And then plus 45 is 180, add 45. You could keep adding 45. as well. But this is like, this would be your answer. I would say, show me an angle at 225 degrees. This is what you would draw. That would be your answer. A negative angle, like Michaela and I were saying, you're going to go backwards, which is actually clockwise. And you're going to go, okay, you know that's 90. Like I'd be counting. You know, I know that's 180 negative. And then let me go up about, I'm at 180, so I need to go like a little bit 30 more. So right here. That's negative 210. Okay? So we're going to learn some other things with these, but the first part of today is just drawing these angles. I know it's weird.
Let's like go around and
Huh?
around.
Okay, the bottom one, this one, okay, it's showing, let me do it says 495 degrees. And I'm about to do some examples. This bottom one, let me zoom in a little bit. It says, if I can zoom in, I might not can. Well, that's as good as it's getting. 495 degrees. Well, I gotta go 360, and then I don't know how much more. So in my mind, I would do like, wait, what is 495 minus 360? What is that gonna be? 135. So I need to go 135 degrees. There's my angle. I'm at 495.
So you went past it.
Yeah, you did a whole circle and then 135 more.
Is that really an angle?
That's called a coterminal angle. 135 degrees and 495 degrees are coterminal. We haven't learned that yet. We're about to. That's another question. What?
Similar.
Okay, so let's look at these. I'm going to cover this up. Okay, let me cover all this up. This one says, all right, draw an angle with this measure in standard position. It's a positive 240 degrees. So if it were me, I'm about to, and before I move on, like I'll give you your worksheet and I'll give you a few to try. And then I'll do a few more, kind of like that. So I would draw this, and I might make a few notes, like I know that's 90, I know that's 180, I know that's, I was wrong number, 270, thank you. And then I might find what's halfway between those, like what's 180 plus 45? Because he's going 90. What's 180 plus 45? 225? So I might just kind of make a little note that this would be 225. So where do y'all think 240 is?
About a little bit less, a little more.
Like right here?
Yeah, right there.
So I would just draw 240 degrees. That's my 240 degree angle. Theirs looks probably better. See, that's theirs. Hey, that's very close to theirs. I'll cover that back up. Okay, is everybody kind of good with this? Just adding these numbers. We're talking about just angles. Y'all should be used to 45 degree angles. We did 45, 45. 90s. So I went 90, 180, 270.
Go triangle,
And let me go. Yeah, that. Is everybody good with that?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess.
I
can turn this on.
Is that all we're doing?
That's just problem 1.
Wow. Okay. How many problems are there?
I don't know.
Shut up, Chloe.
This I might wait and do on Tuesday. Both of those.
Let's not hear that.
I might do 2 today, and then I might do 2 of them on Tuesday. Is what I'll probably do. So we might finish this worksheet Tuesday. I just want us to not go too fast on these. I just need to make sure that I get all this done before your trig project. So, I think I have plenty of time. All right, can I erase this one? Now let me do this next one. It says negative 30 degrees. So I'm just going to draw. Here is my axis. Now negative 30 is going to go backwards, right? Now look, I'm going to erase this, but y'all, the 45 goes here. So where do y'all think negative 30 is going to go? It's going to go about like right there.
Perfect.
That really was pretty good. Okay. I'm just saying. That's negative 30 degrees.
Is that a straight line? Get a rule. Okay.
I'm kind of proud of that one.
So, what you draw?
Because what happens, what you're gonna learn for unit circle is they go 30, 45, 60, 90. 30, 45, 60, 90.
Wait, I thought that was 270.
Okay, this right here is 90, 180. This one is 270. Let me erase these.
So
not-
how is 30 that far over?
No, I'm going, it's negative. So instead of going, normally 30 would have been about right there. Right? I would go up 30 degrees. This time I had to go down 30 degrees. Because it was a negative 30, you have to go the opposite way.
Can we draw like a dotted line on our 45?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and then that way you can kind of draw. You'll get used to it as you go through it. Okay.
I need a second.
That is just fine. Let me see what paper I have for y'all. And I'll do a couple more.
What is this called? Telescope. Kaleidoscope? Not kaleidoscope. Hold on.
So where does that little line go? Is it just that little tiny thing?
What level?
What this? Oh, this right here. This little thing is showing my angles going that way.
So that's all.
That's it. That's just like, yeah, you would draw that every time, and I'm saying, hey, that is negative 30 degrees. Okay. This right here is kind of showing where you stop at. Okay, you want me to do one more before your paper? Let me do one that's like a big angle.
So you just start here, and if it's positive, you go this way.
If it's negative, yep.
That's
What we call it.
Okay.
And you're always gonna start on the right side.
Yeah, you always start like right there along that x-axis every time. That's why it was the initial side. Okay, let me do, I'm gonna make one up. Let me do,
94.
hold on, no. I'm making sure I don't have this one. 780 degrees. We're gonna find out where is 780 degrees. Alright, are we ready for this one? So, alright, and you don't have to draw, like, we can, but what I need to do is, I need to stay between 0 and 360, right? So let's take 360 from that. What's that gonna be?
Why you at school, man?
You're gonna go around more before.
That's gonna be 420. So what do I need to do again?
Minus 360.
I need to take another loop around. So, because I don't know, these numbers are too big. I need to be between 0 and 360. Does everybody understand that?
Yeah.
So, what is 420 minus 360? Or is that 60? I think it's 60. And it's a positive 60. So, I know that this is 0. It's also 360. This is 90. So, where does 60 degree go?
Right there.
This is, remember, this one right in the middle is going to be 45.
In between those two.
So it's going to be about right there. And it's going to be closer to the 45 than it is the 90. So this right here is, well, and I'll do the loop. I don't know if they do, but I went 1, 2. That right there is 780 degrees.
How did you do that little loop-de-loop?
Y'all never drew those little spiral things? Like, y'all never did those and doodling them on your papers and stuff? It seems super smart. It seems smart. No, that's right. 1,
I want to see what
2, that's it.
What low?
I just feel like it's
And
not
they're pretty,
like
they're kind of fun.
I feel like the
See, I
60
went
is not
around
what it should be.
once, I went around twice, and then my 60 degrees.
I feel like the 60 is not where it should be. On mine.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you'll get better at it. Now, what if that was negative? What would I have had to have done?
The other way.
Gone the other way. And you would, if this was negative, you would add 360 to it.
So
Okay.
what is that 780 indicating? That squiggly circle?
The 780, yeah, the 780 is saying I went around this 2 times and 60 degrees more. It's the same angle as a 60-degree angle, which is what we'll learn later. This is harder than anything we do for the rest of today and the rest of Tuesday.
So why do we need the 60?
Because if you do 780, where does that go? We don't know. I know where a 60 degree is because it has to be from 0 to 360. I know where, that's why you have to subtract it to see where does it go. I was about to say I could look and see if they always draw the. I don't know. I've got to find an answer key. Anyway. Okay, let me pause. At least 2 things today that are on here. Now, the next thing that I want to teach you is, okay, I'll show you this picture. This is not what I'm really teaching, but this is kind of another look ahead at our unit circle. I mean, I'm going to teach it, but we're about to learn something different. So again, this is our unit circle. Notice that they just use the numbers 1, 0, or whatever for here. So they're looking at, you can also use something called radians, okay? Notice the calculator the other day, some of y'all got the wrong answer because yours was in radians. And I said, hey, go to the mode and switch it to degrees. So you can go back and forth, but no, we're going to stay in degrees, but you can go back and forth from degrees to radians, radians to degrees. Using a calculator, you can also do that on your unit circle and with a little formula, okay? So some things I'll teach you real quick. I kind of want to blank one of those. Here we go. Let me look at this one, okay? That little circle right here. So this is 0, and I told you it's also 360. This is 90, 180, 270. And we can find all different kinds. Like we're gonna look at 30s, 60s, and 45s. Remember when we did triangles and we did 30, 60, 90, and 45, 45, 90? Those are the only angles we're looking at. Like adding to this unit circle, okay? So let's change to radians, all right? I can start at 0, and if I go from 0 to here, I have gone pi radians. Okay, so, and I'm about to give you a formula for it. If I go from here all the way back to 360, I have gone 2 pi, right? That's in radians.
Exactly.
Where did you get that 0 from?
Well, because it's your starting point, it's just at 0. I don't have to put 0, but 0 and 360 are the same. They're both on that initial side. So we're learning now that we can go, instead of 180 degrees, we can also call that pi. So degrees and radians, 180 degrees is actually pi radians, yes.
So like 5 pi is go around?
So if you went around 5 pi's, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 pi.
Okay.
So 180 degrees is also pi.
180 degrees is also pi. But we're not doing radians yet on here. Okay, I don't know if that's on your sheet. We're not to that yet. We are about to now go from degrees to radians and radians to degrees. I'm going to give you a little formula. So you're going to learn to go back and forth. All right, here is the formula. Is anybody still copying anything? Not really on that one? Okay, here's your formula for radians to degrees and degrees to radians.
180 over
So,
radians?
if you are wanting to go from radians to degrees, you multiply by 180 over pi. Okay, so radians to degrees, you're going to multiply by 180 over pi. Go backwards, degrees to radians, you multiply by pi over 180. Degrees to radians, multiply by pi over 180. What you're doing is, you have to see, what are you changing it? If I want degrees, I multiply by 180 over pi. If I want radians, I multiply by pi over 180. Okay? You put in the numerator what you're wanting. If I want degrees, I'm putting 180 degrees in my numerator. If I want radians, I'm putting pi in my numerator. Okay, yeah.
And so is the radiant, those numbers, are like 130 degrees? No, that's degree.
130 is degrees.
Yeah.
If it has a little degree sign up above it, that's 130 degrees. So it's going to probably tell you, change 130 degrees to radians. I'm about to teach you that. It's all on the calculator.
Yes.
Now you just have to remember your pi. If you're going to radians, don't forget to put your pi there, okay? Because your calculator, you can't put pi in there. Because it's going to take pi and it's going to make it 3.14. And we want our answer in pi, okay? So are y'all ready for a few examples? This is just the 2 formulas. Okay, this is probably where we're gonna stop at today. We'll do a few problems in sheet. We will, probably while I'm gone, I'll give you some more papers to review all these things too. Cause these are this is kind of easy, not yet, but it will be.
When do y'all do?
Not next week, but the next.
Well, so next week I want y'all to start on your unit circle project. But while I'm gone, those little, like for basketball, so 2 weeks after that, I was trying to leave y'all some easy handouts. So, and then,
Y'all leave the 29th.
yeah. So I'll be here all next week. And then if y'all need help before I leave for college algebra, I can do that too. Okay, so let's look at 60 degrees. Look, we're gonna go back and forth now. Look, notice I'm gonna change A from degrees to radians. What's B gonna go from?
That
Radians to degrees. Yeah. So if I'm going from degrees to radians, that means I want a pi, right? So I'm gonna do pi over 180. I want pi in the numerator. Does everybody understand that? So you multiply. This is what I would do. In my calculator, all right, or for my answer, I know I want a pi. Does everybody get that? I'm going to type in my calculator 60 divided by 180, math enter. And it's going to tell me my answer.
Wait, 60 divided
60, because 60 is in the numerator, 180 is in the denominator. So it's 60 divided by 180, math enter. What is it?
Wait, why are you using 60?
Because they told me 60 degrees. I'm changing 60 degrees to
Why is it in
radians.
the numerator? Why is it in the fraction?
Okay, I could put it in a fraction.
No, why? Oh,
Well-
I thought you were saying the top number was 60 and not
Oh.
pi. Okay.
But I'm saying if I was to divide if I'm putting these together, that 60, look, if I put these together, this is what it looks like. Right? 60 pi is in the numerator, 180 is in the denominator. So I know pi is in my answer. Cannot type pi in your calculator because it's going to make it a decimal. You cannot type it. What is 60 divided by 180, math enter?
1/3.
There you go. It's 1/3 pi or pi over 3. That's the same thing. That's radians. Pi over 3.
Yay.
And this takes practice. It takes practice. Now,
Why does that one go away on the?
well, because it's just like 1 pi over 3. It's an understood 1 up there.
So this one's gone.
So now, we're going to go from radians to degrees. So my radian has to go in my denominator. Why is it going in the denominator? Because it needs to go away. If this one's in the numerator, guess what happens to this one? They will cancel. So in my calculator, I would type in, well, the way I would type it in, I would do -7 times 180 divided by 4. Or you can just do -7/4 times 180. Either way, that's the same thing. Do we get that? You're just multiplying this number times this number. Your radians go away. Because you want just
So you
degrees.
do -7 over 4.
Times
times 180.
Mhm.
Hold on, I'm not getting this. One is multiply, but one's divide. Just both divide on both of them.
What?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
Are
said.
you talking about this one or this one or both of
So
them?
it's -315.
I think so.
Shut Dan.
Hey, what is your question?
I have a question.
Okay.
That's the problem.
You have two different formulas. One of them pi's in the numerator, the other one pi's in the denominator. You have to know which formula to use. Okay? So on this one, I need pi in my answer. So pi is in the numerator, 180 is in the denominator. I write pi in my answer, 60 over 180, math enter. It's pi over 3. Or 1 pi over 3. 1 over 3 pi. It's all the same thing. You learned that in Algebra 1.
That was a long time ago.
Like 2x over 3 is the same thing as 2/3 x. That's the same thing, just
Yeah.
like that is. Okay? Now, this one, you multiply by 180 over pi, your pi's cancel out, and that's just a calculator problem. -7/4 times 180. What did y'all get?
-315.
There you go, that's -315 degrees. I went from radians, now I know -7 pi over 4 is the same thing as -315 degrees on my unit circle. I know that 60 degrees is the same thing as pi over
So
3.
you don't divide that, you do 180 times or divide.
On this one,
Yeah.
it's in the numerator. So you multiply. When it's in the denominator, you divide.
So if you go from a whole number, then your pi is gonna be in the numerator. If you go from a already have a pi, then
You have to put pi in the denominator because they have to cancel out. Yeah. Let's do some more. I was gonna say something else about this multiplying and dividing. Y'all don't make that difficult. Y'all should know how to multiply and divide. Don't make it. I think y'all are freaking out on me and making things difficult. I know it's scary. It's like a foreign language. If any of you have to take computer science in college, I don't know how to take that. That is legit a foreign language. I guess that's how some of you feel. Well, I had to take 2 of them. It was awful.
at the same time.
2. I had to take number 1 and then number 2. I think that's worse. I had to take them back to back. So I had a whole year of it. Okay. I already did 60 degrees. Let's do 120 degrees. It just takes practice, y'all. We'll practice. Now, this one, I need a pi. So what goes in the numerator? Pi. So, are you watching me, Charlie? You're going to get this.
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
I didn't know which one, why we're dividing.
Okay.
Yeah, multiply.
So, is everybody understand? I need the pi, so I put pi in the numerator. So, my answer is going to have a pi. And then I'm just going to do 120 divided by 180. Math enter.
I got that now.
I have no idea. Oh, I should know that. I divided both sides. Get 2/3. So it'd be 2 pi over 3. Instead of 2/3 pi, we're just writing pi in our numerator.
Does it matter
2 pi
if
over
you put
3.
2 before or after the pi?
Yes, it's 2 pi over 3. Yes.
I put 120 divided by 180.
Yep. Math enter. Yep. You're just putting this number over this number. Bring your pi over. You're just putting the numbers over each other in your calculator. In math enter and bring your pi. You want the pi in the numerator now. Okay, you do want that. That's why you put it up there. Kind of get better? Okay, let's do another. Yeah.
Is it okay if, like, I think putting the pi right there at the very beginning confuses me. Can I just do 120 over 180 equals and then know that pi's gonna be there?
Absolutely. Like, I would go ahead and just have it like right over there because just don't forget it. Yeah. Radians has our pi. Let's do -15. Oh, sorry. And then I'll give y'all some from y'all's paper in a second too.
How about do the odd?
Did you already do?
I did already do the odd.
We're leaving the 29th, right, for beta?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I'm trying to take off.
29th, 30th. We'll be back the 31st at lunchtime.
Yeah, I have that ACT thingy the first, so I'm just taking off.
So, can you
Oh.
have a -1 pi?
You can have negative pi. All right. So real quick, I'll do this -15 degrees. I need a pi, so I put it up here. Or as Hanny Catherine said, she just wants to put it on in her answer. So -15 divided by 180. Math enter. I don't know what that is. -112. So -112. I don't ever put a 1 in front of my pi. I would just put -pi over 12. Okay? That is radians. It's the same thing as -15 degrees. Do I need the, huh?
I was wondering where you got the negative from, but then I realized.
Oh, the 15 was negative, yeah. If it was negative in the beginning. Let me do one more that's a radian and let me do 5 pi over 6, okay? So 5 pi over 6, I'm gonna multiply that times, I need my pi's to cancel out. So I gotta put it in the denominator. So 180 has to go on top. 180 and pi go together because they're the same thing. So pi's cancel out, and I would just type that in my calculator. 5/6 times 180, and it would tell me my answer. Let me do that so I can tell y'all. It would be 150 degrees. Okay, so for y'all, I want y'all to practice these on your paper. Have y'all already started?
I did the
No,
odd.
because we didn't know which one we were doing.
You did the odd?
I did.
Yeah, I would just go down that left column, okay? So you're doing 7 through 17, and then we'll just end class on that and pick up here Tuesday. Hey, y'all just don't let me forget that, because y'all did this, and I want y'all to get your points for it. Don't let me forget that we haven't finished it.
My notes and my answers to this, some of it's on this, so if you need it, just let me know.
Okay.
Scratch work,
Gotcha.
kind of mixed together.